Sunshine first. Disastrous day for Man United. What went wrong in this game, in your opinion?
I think just lapse of concentration, my friend. Like, we concede silly goals, and I say silly, that's not being disrespectful to the other team, but just weak goals. It's not like Nottingham Forest had to like dominate us to go and score those type of goals. It was just dog shit, really and truly, or cat shit. It stinks. It's even worse. So for me, I'm looking at it going, we concede these types of goals, and for me, it's just a concentration issue. And we ultimately apply extra pressure to ourselves and don't make it a lot any easier for us to go and get out and take the wins as such. And then the lack of quality when we do go forward, when we do need to go and get that extra goal, final third ball pass is just weak. Can't find this next round. The touches are all off. Then we start panicking. It's the same shit 24/7, excuse my language, but again, these players, Terry, need to be held accountable to the same level that we have done for the past 5-6 managers, because their mentality is not it. They are not quality. They've got the quality to play any style of football that will go and get you consistent results, in my honest opinion, and I've been saying that for 5 years. So I'm not sitting here going, the manager's going to get a free pass. I'm just saying the same shit's going to happen again, where the manager's got a load of stuff that he's got to go and change ultimately. And we cannot expect certain results. The problem is the fan base are going to be expecting results after about 10 games, because they'll be saying the same shit they have for the past whatever many years. The style of play should have been in by now. We should have had a system locked and ready by now. It's been 10 games. And then the same circus is going to carry on. And then it's going to start adding more pressure to a manager when the reality starts to fade away once again, because we're in our feelings about the actual reality of Manchester United's situation as opposed to what we think Manchester United should be doing in this present moment. So for me, Notts Forest deserved it based on the chances they took. And respectfully, Bruno had a stinking mistake, and then Onana was even worse. I'm not going to hold the game down to Bruno, which I've seen, because ultimately I felt he had a very good game up until that mistake. But that mistake was costly for them creating a chance. The goalkeeper was costly for them having that goal in, because I don't know how he's not saved that, in my honest opinion. He could talk about the swerve, but in my opinion, the swerve that even happened was about a millisecond before he even got down. So he should have saved that. He should have at least put a body on it. And again, the Chris Wood goal, just sloppy, lethargic goals, bottom corner. So it's not even a style of play situation. It's just, again, mental capacity under pressure, because they struggle. They are not Manchester United, in my opinion anyway. They aren't Manchester United quality of what we know they should be. They have not got the mentality. They haven't got the quality to consistently get us to a stage where we need to be. And as a fan base, we need to start waking up and smell the coffee. Because after 12 years, if you're going to keep telling me the next manager's style of system isn't going to work, if you're going to start talking about style of play again, I'll just switch off. Because it's a load of BS at this point. It has nothing to do with style of play being the primary, let's say, go-to where every time we lose games. It's just not. Doesn't matter what style of football you play, we can't go and get the results.
Let me ask you a question as well. I don't even think that. I get your point that if more of this happens, that the usual suspects will be out. Who I hope the football club, as Baz One here says, the club needs to ignore the fan base for once. I think they need to. They have to accept the standards that we want, but they have to ignore all the noisy people that think it can be achieved in 2 to 3 months, because that's what happens when you take over a new team on Football Manager, or that's what happens in their little weird spaces on Twitter, where these people that have no real success in their own lives at any level think they can talk about how you turn around one of the biggest juggernauts in football that's been failing for over a decade in the space of a few months, just because they say a few mean things in spaces. That's how football clubs are fixed. Aside from that, though, the style of play was there today. And I don't know about you. You look at the 2 goals in the second half especially. I don't think it matters who the manager is. Any team in the Premier League, conceding those 2 goals is unforgivable, regardless of systems, managers, and players. That is Sunday league level mistakes.
No, I agree. And again, I've never been big on style of play, so I'm kind of in my own boat, rowing away on this one. I've never been one of those who goes style of play is the most important, so I don't put emphasis on it. I've always told, and you even know this, I said, regardless of style of play, no matter how we create our chances, if we can't score the goals, what does it matter if we create an extra 5 more chances, if we defensively look solid? I don't give a crap about half of that. I really don't. Is it important? Yes, that's not me being extreme to say style of play is not important. It's just not the be-all and end-all, because we've been brought up in an era where Pep Guardiola's style of football is now the brink of football, where you have to have a style of play to go and get the type of results that he brings in. I think we're brainwashed as a fan base, as a football fan base, to believe in his ideologies that style of play is the most important thing to go and get results. Does it help? Yes, it does. But today we saw a style of play. It was consistent. For those that love style of play, perfect. You got what you wanted. It's amazing. But for me, the quality is still not there, even if we have a great style of play. And our lapse of concentration is forever just going to be there, which it has been for the past 6, 7, 8 years, however long you want to go for. So Notts Forest deserved it based on the chances they took and the mistakes that we made. Fair play to Notts Forest. I've got nothing else really to say on that. It's just a disappointing result once again.
I hear you on that, KJ. Obviously, you look as disappointed as I feel. I want to break the game down today more than having a sort of macro conversation about the club at whole. What was your thoughts on especially the second 2 goals, the mistakes from Onana and Lissandro that led to them? I mean, how does this is this just a lack of concentration? Is it poor quality? Does it demonstrate we need better players? What happened and how do we fix it?
The first one with Onana is it's a frustrating one because I know what he's trying to do. He thinks the ball is about to go into that left-hand side, and obviously the wind today is mad everywhere. I hear it in Brum. Obviously, Liverpool game got called off, so I'm assuming the wind's just mad and crazy in the UK. And boom, the wind hit the ball, and it swirls everywhere, and now it looks like it just looks foolish. I remember the same thing happened to David De Gea against Arsenal with Xhaka scoring a long range shot, and the wind just took it one next way. But that doesn't excuse how close he was to the ball. And how if he actually took his time, he actually would have saved that easily. He does that sometimes. He tries to predict early where the ball is going, and he just leaps for it. And then next thing you know, deflection, boom, he can't do anything about it. And that's Onana's issue, and he needs to work on that. So that Lisandro Martinez, I don't know why he did, he just switched off. And it's just indicative of the team as a whole. These players switch off. Their players, the mentality is awful. When things are getting hard, when things are getting tough, they crumble, you know. And I think the emotion of the day as well, it just added to it. You know, whenever it comes to these emotional days for Man United, we always seem to fail because mentality-wise, we can't handle any kind of pressure. We can't handle any kind of expectation at all. And it shows on the pitch because these players today weren't doing the simple things. Barring Ugarte, who had a good game, I believe, and he was our best player on the pitch. None of those players could do the simple things correctly. And that is what's frustrating about our luck. Huh?
What about Dalot? I thought Dalot had a decent
second half. No, Dalot was dreadful. Dalot was absolutely dreadful.
Wow.
Losing the ball, flipping, doing crosses that went nowhere, shooting from whatever range.
Oh, yeah, the shot at the end was poor, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, he has not been good for since Amorim came in. And I don't think it helps that he's playing on the left. So I'm not going to pull it entirely down to he's a bad player. He's not a bad player. But he's going to start doing well. Even things like Bruno losing the ball for the second goal. The Ahmad kicking the ball out sometimes. Garnacho can't even control a football on the byline. How many times in the last 5-6 games have we seen this guy run it out? He needs to be taken out the firing line. You know, so across the board, players cannot do the simple things. I don't understand why Amorim's on the sideline, screaming, fuming. He's vexed all the time. Man's going to be bold at Ten Hag and flipping 5 games because the amount of stress that he goes through, because these guys can't do the simple things. Keeping the ball, playing the ball to a player that's not an opposition player, you know? And I don't get it because I don't believe these players are that bad. They're not awful. They're not dreadful because they wouldn't be professional footballers. But I'm confused about why can't you make simple passes? And it all goes down to up here, the mental aspect of the game, which is something that these guys cannot handle right now. And for us to be fixing it, I know you say you don't want macro things.
No. Yeah.
But for us to fix it, people need to realize We can't do it now because guess what? The transfer window ain't here. We probably can't do it in January because we are sailing close to the wind when it comes to FFP. We have to wait until summer 25, summer 26, summer 27. We have to wait until those moments for this squad to be fixed. And I don't see why Man United fans are sitting here acting like we could have just fixed it without these transfer windows. You know, like we need these things to come through, and we need to go through this pain. So I'm not hammering him out. I know Neji won't be hammering him out. We are going to analyze what we are and say what we need.
Yeah,
I actually had a question.
It's dreadful.
I actually had a question.
And people saying I'm blaming the wind.
Okay, yeah.
I'm people. Tell me,
You kind of are. I can't lie.
No. Did I say? No. He never should have. He could have saved it, but the wind took him. I said why he did what he did and where the ball went to, but he still needs to work on predict it, not going too early. Because we've seen it time and time again with Onana. He goes way too early on shots, then the deflection happens, and then he can't recover. So I'm not blaming the wind. I'm describing what happened. I'm done.
But you kind of are blaming the wind indirectly. But
no, he didn't his time. He didn't.
Onana should have still saved.
If I'm describing,
but that's what he said.
Sorry, if I'm describing what's happening when the ball is flying in the air,
the wind.
Hussam. Here's an example of it. Here's an example of what. Here's an example of making that an excuse. Oh, it was a lucky goal because of the wind. That is an excuse. What KJ did is describe what happened.
Yeah, and listen, the thing is with